Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Cosmos Atom. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, it's going to be in the top right hand corner of the video. Watch that before watching this one so that you have more context. Also, there are two donation links down below in the description. If you want to support Ukraine, feel free to do so by donating to the Ukrainian refugees or to Ukraine's military. Thank you all for the support, and let's get on with the technical analysis. So jumping into the daily chart, I want to show you the swing low and the swing high of the Fib retracement. So this is the swing low printed in March of 2020, obviously with the COVID dump. And then we have the high here in May of 2021. Since this high, we did have a nice pullback towards the golden ratio, which was very important because the golden ratio was previously a resistance level over here. As you can see, twice we had two rejections off of this level. And from that golden ratio bounce, we had a double top pattern somewhere around $45. So from there, we obviously had the pullback all the way down to the 0.5 here, which I had on the charts for a very long time, and I told you guys that these were good entry points. So if you have entered on the 0.5 here, right now you are up around about 200. Oh my God, I apologize about that. You're up around about 200%, which is crazy. And this is a bear market we're talking about here, guys. We're breaking through the 786 Fibonacci retracement. So obviously there is going to be some sort of a pullback here for Cosmos. We are getting a bit overextended to the upside. Obviously, the bullish cross happening here August 2nd. That's your confirmation of the uptrend. And since then, as you can see, we broke out of this channel up pattern that we were in. And honestly, I did think that we were going to continue in this channel, but it looks like that we had, this break to the downside below the channel. Although I want to mention that we could potentially run into the resistance here somewhere at $19 to $20, because that is the resistance of the channel up pattern. So although we may not retest the support as we usually do here in channel up patterns, we still might retest the resistance level. So just keep that in mind. But the 786 has been broken through. I don't think we're going to be holding above it for much longer, because we are going to be getting the FOMC meeting very, very soon. As you can see, the Ethereum merge did bring down the crypto market even further below than what we saw after the CPI data was revealed. So I do think closer to the end of September, we're going to see one last dip. Don't know if that's going to be the last dip below $20,000 that we will see, but in that case, I would expect Cosmos Atom, considering how bullish it is, I would expect a retest of $12.62. That would be a healthy retest because we have tested that area as resistance back in May. We broke above this area in September, but we haven't had the back test of support. So holding this level as support would be a very, very important thing. So keep that in mind if you want to set up some buy limit orders. $12 is a bit expensive, to be honest with you. I'm not going to be entering Cosmos Atom right now. I do have a stack of coins staking on Kepler, so it's not like I'm in a hurry to buy any Cosmos Atom coins. I am dollar cost averaging into other altcoins right now. If you want to get all of my trader alerts, you want to get my low cap gems, you want to request videos and technical analysis and get project highlights, then feel free to check out Patreon down below in the description. I also have started doing podcasts over there exclusively for the Patreons. So yeah, it's a great way for you to get more exclusive content, and it's a great way to support the channel. So it's a win-win situation. Now, in case we do lose the $12.62, we do lose both EMAs on the daily chart, I would consider looking at this support here at $11.18. Now, if you zoom in a little bit more here, I want you to pay attention to this high that we printed July 21st and this high we printed July 29th. Since then, we had a move to the upside above the level. We back tested it as support twice, lost it once again, went above it. So it was basically an up and down bumpy road. But if we do lose $12.62, we may find some sort of resistance on that level, okay? So just keep that in mind. Also, what you can do is you can throw a fib retracement, okay? And let me get the fib retracement. So we're going to use the swing high that we printed just recently, and we're going to use this swing low on August 19th. So as you can see, when we are going to when we're going to start coming back down, the golden ratio is just around this price at $12.62. So that goes to show that there is a lot of important support in this area, right? And if we manage to lose the golden ratio, the 0.618, I would be targeting the 786 at the of the small Fibonacci over here, as you can see, and that perfectly co-aligns with the support I just gave you at $11.20. So that's something to target. Also $10 here, which is the swing low. That's something to target as well. But in case we do see a very strong capitulation, you obviously have your buy zones from $8.74, which is the golden ratio of the larger fib. And to be honest with you, it would be good if we retested that, and that would be an amazing entry opportunity in my opinion. So as you can see, we broke through the fib level over here, right? And now I want to come back down, retest it, and from there we can continue on. But obviously the prices that we could be seeing for Cosmos in a year, in 2 years, when the bull markets, gets overheated in the next couple of years, I do think we're going to be sitting towards, I want to say $200, but I don't want to be, I don't want to be a perma bull. I want to be conservative with my targets, but we're going to be using the Fibonacci retracement. I want to safely assume that this is the low and we're not going to be printing any lows from here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this low and I'm going to take the November high, and we're going to get the 1.618 here at $160. So that would be a great exit in my opinion from where we are right now. That's basically a 10x. So Cosmos could do more than 10x, obviously. So you could potentially be looking at something like $200, right? But this is just guessing at this point. But just keep in mind that these fib levels and these targets will be met at some point. So that's regarding the daily chart. You have a couple of support levels. In terms of resistance, if we're going to continue this pump, like I said, we have a strong resistance here that we managed to run into. Just over here, and we're going to get rid of that Fibonacci retracement. So a strong resistance over here at $17.45, because this is where we bounced from in April. We had a small move to the upside, then we dumped and created this low here in May. So we are just back testing this previous support as resistance, and we're coming back down off of it. So you're going to be bouncing up and down in between these levels. But Cosmos is very bullish. I'm very happy with what it's doing. And as you can see right now, we are printing some sort of a bearish divergence, which is quite unfortunate to see, but it is what it is. And this is probably a sign that we're going to be going for a correction for Cosmos. So on the RSI, you can see that the first high is higher than the second high. However, on the price action, it is the opposite. The second high is higher than the first high. So this is called a bearish divergence. This is when the oscillator doesn't match the price action. So as you can see, the price action has a higher high, but the oscillator here has a lower high. So this is a bearish divergence, and I would assume that this one is going to play out as it's supposed to. And we're going to see a dump at least to $12.62. And obviously, we are very near the overbought levels. So I would hold off from purchasing Cosmos at these levels. And I would look for entries at the pink trend line here, this ascending pink support trend line. So we have one at 16th of November, one touch, a couple of touches in April. And we broke through in June, but we haven't seen the back test of support yet. So let's switch over to the weekly chart on Binance's website. Okay, so moving into Binance's website. Now I'm looking for this potential ABC correction that we might see. So we did have our A leg down. We did have our B move high. and our C wave low is potentially going to be lower than this one. So for that, a confirmation of sorts would be if we start losing this zone in between $10 and $8.50. So if we start losing that zone, then that would give me sort of an alert. But you still have the support here at $6.70, which I give you ahead of time, guys. Go back into my Cosmos videos history, and I give you this level because this was the high that we printed back in June of 2019. And I told you that we could potentially retest it. So be on the lookout, potentially have some buy limit order set up. That's exactly where we landed. Had a beautiful bounce from there. We're running into the weekly 55 right now. We're back testing the weekly 20 as support. So it's perfect for now. We're perfect in this position. Hopefully we can hold above the weekly 20 EMA at $13.65. But if Bitcoin starts dumping, at some point Cosmos is just going to give in and it's going to start dumping with all the other altcoins, which I don't want to see. But, you got to do what you got to do. If Cosmos comes down below $6 once again, you can bet your ass I'm going to be stacking my bags with this coin. And jumping into the weekly RSI, I quickly want to show you the fact that we're breaking back into the symmetrical triangle, which is a very, very bullish indicator. And I don't know if we can actually break out of it, but I would look for a backtest of resistance of this descending resistance trend line of the pattern. We had one bounce here in February. We had one bounce in September last year, and potentially we're looking for another bounce here in September. And from there, we could see a move all the way down to the support of the pattern, or even the red trend line at 43, because that's the support that we bounced off of twice in the last couple of years. So this is pretty much everything that I wanted to show you regarding Cosmos. Obviously, the weekly stochastic is overbought, so the MACD is overextended. Basically, all the indicators on the weekly chart, or all the midterm indicators, are telling me that it's time to sell, but the RSI still hasn't run into a major resistance level as of yet. Like I said, this white trend line would be such a resistance level, but that is pretty much it. Let me know what are your thoughts on Cosmos Atom. Are you accumulating? Let me know what are your long-term targets for this project. And yeah, feel free to follow me on Twitter. Feel free to join Patreon. All the links are down below in the description. I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Goodbye and